What's good, everybody? It's Donnie B. Got the Beats, along with my co-host Nicholas Baker, my brother. And today we got a very special guest here. This guy's a connoisseur of good entertainment. Like he does everything. He dabbles in a little bit of everything. So we definitely feel blessed to have this brother here. We matter of fact, we got him while he had work, and he balling. He's still with us. You know what I'm saying? So you talk about people who can master two things at the same time, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got him here nonetheless. I'd like to introduce producer, videographer, photographer, creative director of Tony Rock the World. Art, what's going on with you, brother?
Nothing much, brother. How y'all feeling, man?
Man, all is good. All is good. Thank you for being with us, man. Like you said, you already, you backstage doing work and took the time to be with us. So we definitely appreciate you taking out the time to chop it up with us a little bit.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, man. So, how we do around these parts, we jump right in. No need to wait. So tell the people, who is Art?
Art is a hardworking young man that started from the bottom and now, still pushing to get to the top. So, it's nonstop grind. That's the kind of guy I am,
No doubt. As you hear the stage in the background, we hear it a little bit, but we keep it low. We ain't gonna blow him up too much, say where he at, what he doing. One thing I can say about you, we go back. We talked about that yesterday. We go back, but always been just a real solid dude, no matter what, super humble. I feel like Art could be walking with Obama and still come by and dap you up and be like, what's good? No change, ain't nothing gonna change. It ain't gonna be like Hollywood or nothing. It's you get what you get as far as being just a solid cat. So definitely always have appreciated that about you. We've been able to link and just link back and forth on social media, say what's good, and it's always it's love. It is what it is. So
right.
Definitely appreciate that. So tell us how you got involved with the visual arts. Like Donnie said, you do photography, videography, whatever kind of ography else you can throw in there. Tell us how you got involved in that. What's your story?
All right, so my story actually starts like most people in the music industry or anything else. It started from church, man. My grandfather was a big instrumental part of my life. He started, had us started. I've been shooting since 12 years old in church. In a position where we would do all Sunday services, big production every Sunday, or anytime we touched the cameras, it was a production. So after getting to a point, I got it when I was in high school, took some Botech classes, which actually helped me with my production. So that actually, it pretty much coincided with what I was already doing. And then after I graduated, went to college, actually, even after after coming out of school, I continued to work and started working at Hampton University doing the media productions. And that's really kind of how I got into audio visual. So I went from doing video work to going into the audio visual side. And, that's when I started to learn how television and audio visual and computers and everything really coincide. So you have to have a knowledge of all of those parts. So that's kind of how my story started, with working in the audio visual field and doing production and everything, especially with being at Hampton University, doing the concerts to doing the graduations and step shows and everything. So that kind of put me in the audio and visual side, with the projector screens and everything like that.
Dope.
Okay.
I know, Donnie, you got some background in that too, so you might want to chime in a little bit.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, I looked at your whole dossier. I ain't see nothing about HIU in there, man. You here too, brother?
Yeah, man. I worked at Hampton University for 6 years, man. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I can say ahoy there. Nah, but it's awesome. So I came up in the MET program too, which was very, very influential in my experience in entertainment as well. So I definitely resonate with what you're saying, man.
Right.
But it's always good to see other Hantonians, people that have been affiliated with the university out in the world, man. It's a blessing.
Definitely.
Doing big things. We talked about pop-up questions. Here go one right here. How important is it? like the production level when it comes to like shows, TV, or like, you know, any type of show. Like, I don't think people really know how much is happening in the background when a show is going on. Like, how important is it, that aspect of a show?
Very important. Like it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things people won't see in the background that's going on. It's from a battery that go dead that will, that'll affect the microphone, something as small as that, to somebody tripping over a cable that could possibly pull on the whole backdrop. I mean, it's a lot of moving pieces. You have to be careful where you walk, where you stand. Make sure you checking everything before you send it out to, or putting the mic checks and everything, putting the mic lavaliers and everything on everybody. You have to check everything. It's a lot of moving pieces, and where somebody drops the ball, you got to make sure that you're ready to pick up that ball and keep going, because it's always something that can go wrong. No matter how many times you rehearse it, you got to keep a fresh mind and keep going, because it's always going to. It's nothing is ever going to go right. Got to be ready.
Got to be ready for it. Got to be ready.
Yeah, never lied.
So, tell us a little more about being the creative director for Tony Rock.
Oh man, look, I tell you like this. Being a creative director for Tony Rock, first of all, is an honor. I can honestly say it's an honor. I actually been knowing Tony for about 20 years. And for 20 years, he didn't even know that I did video work. I never pushed it on, said anything to him about it. It was just always like, hey, bro, what's going on? Let's go eat, blah, 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 whatever. Go to the show, do the set, then we come back off stage and everything and just laugh, joke. And it wasn't until I saw that it was a need, it was like a void. And it was kind of like, well, let me see what I can do. And it kind of came to a point of where when I started doing certain things, and he was like, oh, you don't do this? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I got out of it for a while, but I can get back in it. It's no problem. So I started working on some things and started showing him, and he started seeing improvement. And then he was like, hey, man, you know what? Let me put you on the team. Let's work. So it's kind of like it picked up from there. And then now we're here, 5 years into it. It's been great. So it's actually been a blessing, because it put me in a position to where I was able to learn even more because you never can know enough about production. So like I get a chance to see things that most normal people won't be able to see. So I'm able to get in and, rub elbows in a sense, but still do my job, because I'm shooting back behind the scenes footage. I'm able to sit back and, shoot footage that nobody probably would know or anything about. So it's one of those things where if they were ever to do a documentary, he'll say, hey, hit my man Art, and I'll be the one to send all that footage over. You know what I'm saying? So It's a great position to be in, and just to be able to collab with so many people, just to hear the jokes backstage, to hear all of the commentary backstage, and just the wisdom that you pick up from other people that are producers and directors and other talent. So it's been great, man.
It's interesting that you say too, because I was actually talking to another young lady. She has a brand that I'm helping her get out and running, and I broached to her about BTS and the importance of it. Can you explain to people, that are not really savvy when it comes to the field, such as yourself, how important behind the scenes footage is, and what are the multiple uses that you can use for BTS?
Behind the scenes footage is actually great. Because it gives you B-roll footage for stuff that you won't get a chance to see. Because most people in the audience, they see what's going on stage, but they never get a chance to hear the laughs and jokes that go on backstage. And that's the great part about the BTS, because it brings people backstage to be able to get closer to the person that they are a fan of. So It's great to be able to see that. And then, I mean, I'll give you one where I did All Deaf, the last All Deaf where Tony hosted it. I mean, like when I tell you the stuff that I saw backstage, from seeing the people joking and being able to come together, and the prayer session before they go on stage. I mean, it's like the regular audience, they just prepared and ready to see whoever's on stage. But seeing it from my eyes, I'm like, man, I'm watching these guys warm up. I'm looking at the routines, looking at everything they get to see. I mean, everything I get to see. of watching them gear to go on stage. I mean, you look at Janet Jackson; they'd have the little prayer session before she goes on stage. You see everybody kind of like warming up, getting hyped before they go on stage. That's the kind of atmosphere that you get a chance to see, and it's very important because it makes the fans, it gives the fans an opportunity to be able to see stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to see unless you got the access.
Right.
So kind of speaking to that like piece about being able to see stuff that kind of fans don't normally see. Speak a little bit to like the preparation that you see from like comedians, not just Tony Rock, like anybody you've been around. Because I think, you know, the thought is like a lot of people will think, well, man, I'm funny. I can get up there, including myself. I, you know, thought about it, wanted to, still thinking about it to do an open mic night one night, at least 5 minutes, maybe 3. But like, you know, like talk about the preparation because like definitely me and Donnie as musicians know that side of it. And like you talked about Janet Jackson and that prayer and the practice and all those things that go into it. Like what have you seen as preparation for like comedians?
Well, you know, the funny thing is that everybody has a different ritual. You know, I've seen it where certain, I don't want to say certain names, but I've seen it where some people, you just happen to be in the vicinity of their dressing room and they're like, all right, we about to pray. And they grabbing your hand like, you like, oh, snap, I just walked in the room. But like, but
it works.
You have that situation where you never know what you're going to walk up on. Some guys just listen to music. Some women are just kind of sitting back, you know, kind of not so much rehearsing their lines. They just kind of relaxed. It's like a football player or basketball player that's getting ready to go into the game. You know, they back before the coach does his speech. You're sitting back there and you kind of like, they always tell you to be quiet, don't say much, get your head in the game. That's kind of where everybody is. It's like getting your head into the game before you get on stage. Because, and I was telling some other comics that was asking about being in comedy. I said, look, the one thing you have to do is, most people don't realize that you have to be focused at all times. You have to be sharp. You have to be quick with it. Because if you're a person that rehearse your lines from front to back and never back to front, or knowing how to cut your set, it comes to a position to where you get a heckler in the crowd, especially in a comedy club, that will throw you off. So if you're doing everything memory based and don't know how to jump around with your set, you can easily get thrown off guard, and you never want to lose control of the crowd. That's the main thing with comedy. You got to keep their attention. So, I mean, so many different things with looking at, you know, just watching people listen to music, you know, how they just kind of sitting back. Some people are joke at the beginning, but when it gets closer to showtime, it's like, all right, I'm quiet, I'm closing my door. I need to relax and just chill.
Got it. Yeah. Hey man, you never know. You never know what you're gonna see. You know what I mean? Like you know, I definitely can say I've had thoughts where it's backstage is just all jokes all the time, and then you go get it. You know what I mean? Or that, you know, I really in seeing like I have a couple friends who do it, and then just watching it, like just knowing like that, like a set. Like a comedy set, like you have a set, and like you said, you do got to know it front to back, left to right, so you can kind of jump around in it. But like the setup of lines, the setup of jokes, the understanding of the crowd, like it's so many elements that go into it. It's just like I don't think people give it enough respect. You feel what I'm saying? Like at all.
It's a hard job. It's almost like trying to get up and sing a song in the middle of American Idol. Like you it's like American Idol times 20. You know, when you get up on, you got to make sure that every audition is going to be that main one. So you got to stay on top.
And it's crazy because like I feel like doing comedy is harder than that. Because like I feel like in American Idol, like if you can sing, you can almost forget the words sometimes. But if you can sing, you can make it sound good. Right? Yeah. But with comedy, it's like you got, you know, depending on who you are and how long you got. Let's say you got 45 minutes and people looking at you like, make me laugh.
Right.
Period. Like go.
It's wild. Ooh. I've seen crowds that are like hilariously laughing. Then the next minute you get the next crowd to come in, they dead as I don't know what. It's like depends on the energy you have, and your jokes got to be on point. It has to be relatable. I mean, I tell everybody, you're doing comedy, make sure your comedy is relatable to the city you're in, because everybody know the city you're in, know the lingo. I mean, you might have to switch up your set a little bit just to add, to bring them in, so they'll know different things, that they'll know that this dude really like checked out my city. He knows like the hood spots. He knows the food spot. So he really did his homework. Like when he came in town, he went here, he went there. So it's kind of one of those things. Like you really stay on point. You have to be sharp at all times because, and your clapback got to be real.
Yeah.
You get that person to say a good punchline from the crowd, it can up.
Right.
So I've
You better be ready.
Like, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what advice would you give someone that's trying to get into your field?
Man, the advice I can give somebody in my field, I can say this. If you're trying to get in my field, I say learn as much as you can before you get into it. Because a lot of times, if you're trying to get to a certain level so quick, you never know who you're going to come into contact with. Hey, you know what? I'm a photographer or a videographer. They want to see it. They want to see your work right then. Like, send me your work. And literally I've been auditioned on site. Like, I had to send somebody a link, a YouTube link with some work that I did immediately through text message. And they was like, oh, boom, you got the job. So it's like you always have to be ready, even when you're not working. And even when you are working, you still got to be ready. Like, I get people that grab me when I'm backstage with another client. And like, hey, did you get some pictures of me tonight? I'm like, I'm actually here for somebody else, but I didn't. But, and then sometimes I will get photos or whatever, because I do video and photography. To switch my DSLR from video to photos, snap, and get some good shots, and then go back to video, and then I'm good. But you have to be ready. Make sure you have the proper equipment. The main thing is, if you're a late person, learn how to be on time.
Amen.
Because that is key in this industry. I've been almost left because I was 2 minutes late. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I say we as Black Americans or Black people, period, we have to get off of CP time and be on time. And my thing is, if they tell me to be downstairs at 8 o'clock, I'm there at like 7:45. And I've been down there so long, like, yo, am I late? Did I miss somebody? No, I'm on my way down. Okay, cool. That was one of the things that I learned. I'd rather be the one waiting versus having them wait.
We need to rebrand CP time too. Like, why we okay with making CP time mean late? Like, we gotta switch it up, man. Like, look, that's a whole nother. Don't get me started on that topic of like how we gotta switch our own expectations of ourselves, man. Like, that's real talk. Nah, but like, go ahead, Donnie.
No, I was about to say I got a sidebar question too. This is another question. This is based off of this. Think of so I'm assuming you spent time in Hampton Roads. You work, like you said, you work for Hampton University, and I assume based off of what you do and where you currently are, you're SoCal and you're very frequent on over here on the left coast.
Right.
How do you sense that there is a dichotomy between the two coasts with regard to the ethics that which you're talking about, like punctuality, just and again, not the send any negative energy toward any coast, so calling nobody out, say nobody's better than the other one. I just want to say specifically, do you sense the difference between complacency, whereas one locale might be more hungry, more aggressive, whereas another the other locale a little less so, or so. What's your thoughts on that?
It's and if you're talking from entertainment period or just comedy or what, like, because
let's say entertainment in general, because I feel that that's what your the cluster of your skill set is involved in all aspects of entertainment because it's relatable regardless. But then let's start there, and then if you do see a way to consolidate it and bring it down to just specifically what you do, then yeah.
I think the East Coast and the South, maybe, in a sense, because everything is based in East Coast and the South as far as music and comedy and stuff like that. Of course, the Mecca is New York, you know what I'm saying, for comedy. Music is pretty much everywhere. It used to be New York. Now it's the South. You can't really say it's just Georgia or Florida. Now you got to add New Orleans. You got to add,
Houston. Yeah.
and then all those places, and even in the Midwest, Chicago.
Yeah.
But I can say this, that as far as that, it would be more, I would say more East Coast, more so than the South. I mean, more so than the West. It's not a shot at the West, and I say this because the West is more TV broadcast, movie based. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's like what I was always told was that you want to be a comic, go to New York. You want to be in movies and TV, go to LA. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it has a different branch to it. So you have to know where to go based upon what you want to do. Most actors, actresses, they're not going to go to New York. Most people that are going into Broadway and going into modeling and stuff, they'll go to New York. Comics, they'll go to New York. When you're trying to do a movie, TV, stuff like that, you're going to go to LA, because that's where everything is for TV.
Right. Okay. Good answer.
What do you think, Donnie? I feel like you have an opinion, sir.
See, you did that. Look, like, okay, so
Now,
being.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. LA, they doing their thing in music too. Don't get me wrong.
I don't got a dog in that fight. I'm an East Coastie. You know what I'm saying? Like I migrated out here. They call them transplants. That's what they call them out here. You know what I mean? So I'm a transplant. So I'm like, to me, I don't think I'll ever get used to how they run it out here. It's just, to me, I'm like, punctuality is key. Yeah. You know what I mean? Punctuality lets you know that somebody respects you. They know somebody, they respect your time, your energy, so forth. So that person's eating. Right. Out here it's like more of how, who do I know? Well, I know that person, so it is what it is. I got the gig anyway. And again, that's no shot at whatever. It's my experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel that there is a lot to be said about it in order for the culture to build and grow, especially with our people and the all of the attention is being made to progressively put our people in the limelight, where we have to learn the right way regardless. It's not about I got an opportunity now, so I can come in how I am. No, you still got to step up. You still got to, you represent for the culture. So, that's been my thing. And like you said, with Atlanta Wood, I think Atlanta Wood is it's a very big arm of LA, but it's still very, very East Coast driven. Right. And New York is just New York. It's a dog in that city, land. Like it's just a dog in that city. So, that's just how I feel about it. If you ain't ready to work, then those two cities ain't for you, for real.
Not at all.
As far as by way of competition. So that's what I got to say about it.
And I can't forget about DC. DC is definitely huge in comedy as well. Look at all of the mega stars that came out of DC. So gotta.
Yeah, and I'm trying to tell you, this dude right here. He'll tell you, when I first met him, I was not funny, and I had to be funny dealing with this man and the people that I came up out of high school with. That's just the culture in the DC DMV area. You gotta, if you're not funny, you're lunch meat. So
Hey man, listen. That was my family, man. My uncle was that way, my cousin's that way. So that's just how we chopped it up. It was always gonna be jokes. So it is what it is. Nah, but I love it. I mean, and I definitely hear kind of what both of y'all are saying, and I definitely feel like, I don't know, I think vibes are just different. Like, I think West Coast vibes are totally different, which, good or bad, it just is what it is. Like, very laid back environment. I mean, people get stuff done, but like you said, Donnie, it very much can be kind of like in its own path. It's not like New York is like a boom, let's go. It's here. And Cali can be a lot of like this, but you get the end result. You know what I mean? So it just kind of is like, I definitely, coming from the East Coast, it can feel weird and like you can feel out of place sometimes. Like, man, what is going on? And then sometimes you fall into the vibe and be like, okay, I'm with y'all. Let's do it. It is what you know what I mean? I think when you master and like figure out the path that you need to figure out, like where you are, sometimes that can be the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're in a situation and like you with some mega people that can make major moves for you, you while you may want to enforce the way you want to do it, them doing it their way could be a lesson in it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I try to be observant with everything I do and just be like, all right, I don't know why we're doing it this way, but I'm gonna watch and maybe I'll take something from it. You know what I mean? So
right.
you know, everything is a lesson in one way or another.
Yeah, but then also too with LA, it's like about circles.
Yep.
That part.
I mean, most people go to LA and they'll live out their car and trying to live the big dream. But if you know the right people, you still won't get that shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like I really remember the days of flying out to LA and visiting my grandparents and stuff like that. And after like 2 or 3 days, I'm like, man, I'm ready to go. But then like know the right people in LA, it became a different ball game because it's like, okay, now I'm going to somebody's house and you never know who's there. You never know what you're gonna run into. You never know what shoot you're gonna run into. You never know if they're doing a podcast or if they're doing a video shoot or what. So it's all about circles. I mean, that's pretty much anywhere, but it's even bigger in LA.
And I feel like there's bigger or more. I don't know how to. I feel like there's more opportunity in some way in LA in that sense.
Yeah.
Like you can, if you get in that right circle, it can be like, you good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like New York is the grind. Like you can be in a circle and still got to grind. Like, hey, look, you in it, but look, we out here getting it. So
it's like if you get in there and make it work, bro. You ain't out here to you, bro. You got to get in the mud. Get your hands dirty up in here.
Exactly. Cool. So I'm gonna throw this question out there. Like I'm gonna throw it to everybody. Everybody can kind of get the answer on this. But Art, you definitely gonna lead us off.
Yep.
If you could make a comedy tour, what 5 comedians would you book?
Man.
I know you know some folks. So I don't want to put you in no weird place, but
that's a tough one because you have so many greats, man. That's on stage. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like let's see if I can make this work. If I ever could make this work, I definitely would say Tony Rock. That I would say definitely some more. I also would say, let me see. Man, you're making this hard for me. You throw Dave Chappelle in there. Dave Chappelle. You said 5. Man, I'm gonna throw Guy Tori in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw Guy Tori. Guy Tori in there. So that's a good 5, right?
Is that 5? I thought that was 4.
That's 4?
Is that 5?
See, some more.
I think
some more. Tony, Dave, Guy,
and I'll add Jordan Rock.
Boom.
Okay.
Jordan Rock. He's. I try to, I'm trying to even it out to where it's like you got young, new coming in the game, and then you got your seniors. You got to get young brothers some love, young sisters some love.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Donnie, what you got?
Man, listen.
I feel like yours might sound like mine a little bit, but
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like to me, I'm so like the people that I've grown to respect and love and adore and study and watch. Most of them aren't here with us no more. You know what I mean?
Put it together. Go for it.
Still go for it. Okay. All right. Well, I got I'm sorry, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but Rodney Dangerfield, I gotta throw that. That's number 1 right there.
Okay.
Rodney Dangerfield, Red Fox, number 2.
Okay.
I gotta do what's his name? Robin Harris. Gotta do Robin Harris. That's my 3rd guy. You know what I mean? What's Aunt Esther from Sarah for the Sun? I forgot her name, but
I know who you're talking about. Esther. Yeah. Her name Esther. Like
hilarious, bro. Hilarious. And then I got I gotta throw Rich in there. I gotta throw. Those are my 5. But as far as living is concerned, it's like okay, I agree with some more. Some more. I think you got to throw some more in there.
Yeah.
I'm always partial, and I will always forever be partial to Tony Woods. I love Tony Woods. I think he's hilarious. That's the guy, man, for me. Tony Baker, hilarious to me right now. Like he is 100% hilarious to me. I think Ellen DeGeneres is like ridiculously hilarious to me too. And then I gotta throw Eddie in there. And again, either Eddie or Dave to go on that, you know what I'm saying, that little last little slot right there. Because both of them, you know, they're legends. They you know what I mean, Dave for his take on just the culture, you know, State of the Union, and Eddie just because he's Eddie, man, and he's just hilarious, man. So that's how I feel about it. No disrespect to nobody else, but you know what I mean. Like, no, just
hey man, it's your tour. Do what you do. You know,
you went old school and new school, so it's like I feel like I need to do mine all over again. Like, I didn't know we was doing this. I didn't know we was doing it.
Neither did I. I'm gonna keep it live. I'm gonna keep it with people who are living right now. I feel like mine don't make no sense, but it can in my mind. And it's a little glitzy too. So I would have D.L. Hughley and Dave Chappelle because I feel like they got the conscious and like that style of comedy. Then I would have something short with Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. I gotta have them battle versus something short. Gotta have something short. And my host would be Tony Woods, Donnie. Like I agree, Tony Woods, man. Tony, I mean, he gets respect. I think comedians respect Tony Woods more than necessarily he gets the flowers from people. But like Tony Woods to me was ingenious. Like his whole style and the way he did things and the way he set up the way. Not even I'm acting like he's not here. He just did. He just did Day Ready with Tiffany Haddish. So I'm not gonna act like he's not here. He's still doing this thing. Definitely Tony Woods.
Old school list. If I was to do one old school list, I would say
don't do it.
I would say Red Fox.
Yep.
I would say Bernie Mac.
Yep.
I would say dude threw me off. Let me see. Bernie Mac.
Red Fox.
I would say Robin Harris.
Yes.
Then I would say who else is an older one that died off? Man, I'm gonna have to add Tony Rock in that mix. And Eddie Murphy, I definitely can. No. I gotta take Richard Pryor. I'm sorry, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
that'd be my. If they was asking for a top 5, that would be a top 5.
I get it.
Well, listen, look. Here you go, Art. Here you go to throw this at Tony. Here you go. The Tony tour. Tony Rock,
Tony Woods,
and Tony Roberts.
Yes, Tony Roberts.
With the reunion of Tony.
Okay, I can see that. I can see
put them on tour. The Tonys.
I can see that.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm here.
No, I was just saying. I'd like to be in the building for that. Yeah. That would be hilarious, and it would be awesome. So I just want to be in the building for I would throw that out there. But yeah.
Hey, we got to put our monies together. Make it look. We're gonna be promoters in a minute. Be like, all right, I got an idea. Let's do it.
They supposed to be doing a new album too, right? Tony.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they getting the reunion back together.
Yeah,
look, the Tonys. Let's do it.
That would be dope.
I like it. It's
a long show, but it'd be dope.
Exactly.
You get your money's worth.
Exactly. Cool. So let's take a little pivot from the comedy scene. I was checking your page out, and I saw you make a post about Lamborghini champagne. Tell us about this Lamborghini champagne. What's this about?
Well, I actually work with a guy who is a recording artist, etc. He's out of New York. He is actually the ambassador for Lamborghini champagne. So he full bottle, which is the extra dry champagne. He's actually not Grammy nominated. He's actually done quite a few things overseas as well as here in the States. So he has a few projects, and so he actually pulled me on the team and asked me to work with him on some on being able to push the product. So beautiful bottle, as you can tell. I haven't tasted it, but it's actually definitely a wonderful product. Lamborghini, it sells itself pretty much. I mean, it's Lamborghini. But he's actually been doing very well with the product. It's himself and Nick Cannon has his own bottles as well. I think I'm not sure which bottles he has, but or which brands of the Lamborghini he has, but I do know that the extra dry is what we have on our side. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity. That's another great opportunity that actually just fell in my lap. I'm grateful for the opportunity. So,
dope. So that y'all heard it. Go look for that Lamborghini champagne.
Yeah,
pick you up a bottle or two or three.
You know, he's definitely a dope artist.
Etc. You say, right?
Yeah, he's you can probably let me look and see. But he's definitely a dope artist, man. I tell you, he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He actually did a whole movie soundtrack for a Japanese company or Chinese movie he did. But he's working hard, man.
All right, etc. Get your inbox ready. We trying to bring you on. You already got the stamp. We're gonna try to pull you on, man. Get a convo going. So dope.
I just want to see what that be like. The Lamborghini champagne. I just want to see what that be like.
Taking it to that next level, man. That's what it is. So I mean, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. I was just saying I'm just a popper out here, bro. I experienced the Lamborghini champagne now.
Yeah.
So speaking on artists and champagne, dealing with the spirits. How did you feel about the deal with Jay-Z and Ace of Spade, and he did it with Hennessy Moet, and then he just did the deal with Tidal, with Square. How do you feel about those moves he made?
As the movie said, more money, more money, more money. I mean, what can you say? I mean, this man is a genius in business, and he definitely knows when to make a move. So he made the right move to do something even greater. So I mean, he sells off one product to go to the next. I mean, it's not. I mean, they're paying him big money. I mean, this is a model that's actually, and he's still getting paid even though he sold the company. So he still has a stake in the company. So he's still getting paid even with the new, taking on a new company.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a brilliant move to be able to get paid and not even have to really be there.
Man, look at his face.
Hey,
like he holding face. He ace bottle.
He like, God damn. Bottles here, boy. Hey, listen.
If you ever seen a win,
hey,
that man's face right now.
Hey, if win was a picture, you feel me? Like, I mean, I think I'm most impressed. I mean, really both moves, like when it boils down to it, because of the story behind them. Like Ace of Spade, I mean, he went into that and made that move, like all behind the whole Cristal situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how that came about to an extent. Like, I mean, they did the what was the vodka they had? Armadale.
And I love that.
And they did, you know what I mean? He did the Ace of Spade, but it was all a move around. Cool. We're branding your bottle. We're kind of putting it out there, doing all this marketing for it, and then a comment's made to where it's like, well, we don't want that in your hood, or we don't want you repping that, and it's like, okay, got it, cool. Boycott that, get my own. You know what I mean? And like that type of move, like even with Tidal, he felt like, okay, we're not getting the royalties or the rights we should off of some of these other streaming platforms. Cool. Start my own. He couldn't get a record company deal, right? Cool. Start my own. Like, you know what I mean? And then the business savvy to say, cool. I'm not necessarily somebody who said I want to, sell champagne. It was just a move that you're not going to tell me. I'm not going to keep drinking something where you're telling me I'm not wanted. So I'll do it better than you and then I'll sell it and be, and get the bag off of it. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that's the ingenious part, is just getting the money, getting to it, like off of people saying no. You know what I mean? And like, if I strive for anything, like it's that. Okay, you're gonna get some no's, you're gonna get some like doors shut in your face, but what do you do after the no? Your reaction to the no is what like defines you. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like he's such a genius. It's like, hey, cool. You told me no. I'm not tripping. I'm not gonna go on no hate campaign. I'm just gonna stop drinking your product. You won't see it no more from me. And I'm gonna do my own, and I'm gonna smash you. And now you don't exist. Like, Cristal is out there, but it definitely ain't in our community like it was at once. You feel what I'm saying? Which may be what they wanted, but at the end of the day, mission accomplished. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Cool. We ain't got to deal with that. You good. So, I mean, definitely claps up for that.
You muted.
Can't hear you, bro. All right, can't hear you.
Hey, you know, I don't know what happened.
Talk. Nope. I feel like I hear your computer moving. Or your phone. Or... Nah. You silent. You
Yeah,
like a movie right now. You see your microphone anywhere? Or... Nope.
Try disconnecting and reconnecting really quick.
Yeah, just hop out and hop back in.
There you go. Okay. Hey, look, he went with it too. Amen.
No problem. I'll do that right away.
This is what the people who technical do with technical stuff.
Right.
Through.
He said, I was already on it. No problem.
Already.
Well, while he's coming, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts, Donnie?
Okay, we good?
Yeah, we good now.
It probably was because I had a phone call that came in a little bit earlier.
Gotcha.
Okay. No, I was saying I wanted to look. I wish I would have known. I wish I could know what their numbers were with the Black community in using that product, and what it is now versus what once we left. So, I'm sure that their numbers took a dive because, of course,
Absolutely.
It's definitely one of them things where if you got Black people put money in it, it's gonna go up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's all. I mean, Ace of Spades, man. They said it. Ace of Spades cost $13 to make.
And it's 300, 500.
Hey, Ace of Spades was $13. It's $13, and like it's just off his namesake and branding and like putting it out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just ingenious. You feel what I mean? So,
here's my thing. I think with regard to I think Armadale shot themselves in the foot. Cristal shot themselves in the foot.
Yep.
At the end of the day, people will say what they want about racism.
Yeah. Green
matters. Yeah. And you be talking about demographics. You talking about a set price per people. Y'all took a hit.
Yeah.
Period. Like, to me, at the end of the day, this is just nothing that's about as solid as breathing. So, I credit him for in a non-social media world for using his brand and integrity to perpetuate the sales and growth that he's had. Because I think he's literally like the grandparent to me when it comes to that, using his brand to be the catalyst for all of these other things. That's my thought on it. Ace of Spades, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never had it. I've had Cristal before, I've had Armadale, but I've never had Ace of Spades. That does not mean I won't, but I have not. But I have, I've spent a lot of time on Tidal. I can say neither here nor there. I cannot confirm nor deny that it's a better platform. But what I can say is that it's smart of him to put himself in positions to eat. That's all I got to say about it.
and intentional. Like the gold bottle. Like think about that. Cristal was a gold bottle. Like everything is intentional. Like cool. We rebranding the gold bottle. Period. You know what I mean? Gold bottles used to mean Cristal off the break. It's like nope. We got you. We're gonna change that up. No problem. No harm, no foul. You keep on drinking your Cristal. We be good. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I think that mentality is just crazy. You know what I mean? So
Right. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. So flipping a little bit back, we'll talk about a movie just came out. I definitely been hearing some polarizing thoughts. I hope you got to see it. I know you're working and doing it. No? Oh
I saw it.
no.
I saw it.
Okay. I was like, oh no.
Thank you, because I was about to like, oh.
What did you think of Coming to America?
Wow. So many mixed things to say about it. It was a good movie. I'm not gonna bash it like everybody else. Um, it's almost like the movie was a handoff to the next generation in a sense. It's kind of we're gonna do this. I have somebody else. I have a son. It was a lot of moving pieces in it. Um, as far as the son is concerned, it's like, hey, you know what? I need to have an heir to my throne. But I think the power in it is that in the portion of the movie, he realized that he had gotten away from the old Simi to being his dad in a sense, if that makes sense. He's
Mhm.
no longer like the one that was eager to go and look for love and find what he wanted. But then it was a point in the movie where he saw his son realizing that he was doing the same thing he did when he was in New York,
Yep.
and he had gotten so moved from it. He found himself in a position that he was in, like his son going to his dad, saying, "Hey, you know what? I don't want what y'all have tried to give me. I want to find my own love because I would rather be with somebody that I fall in love with versus being forced to fall in love with somebody I never met." Um, so it's kind of like a handoff. I thought that was a great transition, but then also recognizing the fact that he had to do the same thing his dad did. Um, he's the king. Why can't he make the changes? So,
Mhm.
and allow the daughter who was once looked at as not being able to be the princess or the queen of Zamunda, and being able to hand her the keys to that. So that was great. Um, but it's also just giving a girl power situation. Letting it's like a woman empowerment thing. But on the back end, I wish the barbershop scene could have been better. I mean, like I was looking for that barbershop scene to have punchlines like I remember as a kid rehearsing the line.
Mhm.
I didn't get it, but I'm not going to trash the movie because of that. It was still overall a pretty good movie.
Indeed.
Cool. Donnie, what you got?
Oh,
Did you see
man.
it?
That, of course, I see.
Okay. Should I go first? I feel like
Listen, I mean, for all intents and purposes, you might. I don't want to be that guy, but
be
me.
that guy. Be
I
that guy.
look. At the end of the day, I agree. I agree with you, Art. Like for what it was trying to do, I think they achieved it. What it could have been, I think they missed the mark by a few 100,000 miles. Um, I think what made Coming to America. Okay, I look at Coming to America and Ghostbusters in the same realm of scope, and it's to me, it speaks to a golden age of making movie making. These are movies that are actual movies.
Yeah.
There's actually serious tone, but the comedy is what helps. Beverly Hills Cop, same thing. It's
Right.
like it's an actual movie,
Yeah.
but it's funny as hell though.
Yeah.
So it gets you to release inhibitions you may have about, oh well, this character is black or this character is Asian, this character is white. It is what it is. No, it's just funny, but it's a good story.
Right.
And I think that's the part that I was missing with Coming to America, and that was the thing that scared me the most about it, is that it was just like, come on, bro, like to me, it's not a good movie. It's funny. It's funny like Ghostbusters when they had all the women.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's not Ghostbusters. This is not Coming to America. Now, shout out to Ruth Carter, another, another Hamptonian. Like, everything looked amazing. Lee Daniels, I think he was the the visual, like, you know what I mean. And I could be loud and wrong, but production wise, it was sold well,
right?
But I didn't care for the story, not one bit. And I'm a girl dad and a son dad, and I'm just like, y'all could have just called this a whole nother movie and been like, oh, it's kind of like Coming to America. That's how I felt about it, because it was just like, this is like it's not what I expected. I felt it was like very much a fan movie, and it was like, well, we need to have all of these nods back to these little spots, and me and my lady, we watched Come to America going into it, because we was like, all right, cool, we're gonna watch the old one, and then we're gonna turn on the new one, and we laughed. I mean, I'm talking about tears from the first one.
Right.
We started the second one, and immediately off the theme song, I was like, bro, I'm already not liking this, bro.
Right.
Already.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it just didn't resonate with me. I'm sorry to be that guy, but I am that guy because that's who I am. You know what I mean? Right. And that's how I feel about it. So that's
no. I feel like it's go ahead.
Right.
No, I feel like it's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like it, because of trying to have the same feeling you had with the first one. Right. And I feel like that's just not going to happen. Like, we're not going to catch that magic in a can again. It's not going to be that. I think the timing of that movie when he did it, I think, having an all-black cast at that time was like a big deal. Like, having all the characters that they played themselves was a bigger deal back then, to where like now you don't get the same feeling from that now. Like, I think some of the tricks that made it great aren't going to play the same now. With that said, I actually feel like the movie storyline of this one was better as far as mini plots and little things than the first one. I think the first one played more on comedy than the plot. You know what I mean? I really feel like it was about, okay, I'm laughing through this whole movie. Like, these dudes are crazy. Look at these characters, like these little moments where, it's just funny the whole time. To where kind of like, speaking of what you were saying, like the second one dealt with like, with Akeem dealing with like him being like growing out of the guy he was when he went and met Lisa. It deals with something that's everybody had to think at some point. You telling me he was in America all that time and he ain't smashed nobody, right? Even if it is that joint, like nobody, whatever, get out of here. He smashed somebody. That made it a little bit like I could that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like certain parts of it was just like it made it more like reality, and I think that's what actually people don't like is that it seemed more like reality than fantasy movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like half of me is like, well, that's dope. You brought it to make it feel like what would be really going on right now in Zamunda. Like, I mean, his dad is in real life is still alive, but like at some point it'd be like, okay, he probably getting up out of here, and they dealing with that. He only had girls, like that's a thing. And then his dad was still his dad. Yeah, his dad still was like, you ain't had no son. Oh, you suck, right? Yeah. And like, but then he was like, oh, you do now you have to get him so he can be your heir. Never even thought about his granddaughter. Right. So it's like little nods that are just like super clever and intelligent to me when it comes to the writing. Yeah. And that's why I think I like Coming to America is like my favorite movie. You can ask my wife. That's like my favorite. I don't care how many times it comes on. I can watch Coming to America. Like
I gotta give the Harlem Nights.
Hey, Coming to America, I can spit line for line, right? So I definitely I had this date circled on the calendar for it to come out, right? And I think again, it's kind of like when they did the Bad Boys again. Bad Boys after 20 years, I think it was. Yeah. But see, look, it's the same thing for me. Like in that movie, it was like, is it going to be the first one or two? No. But these dudes are old. They like should be trying to retire. They shouldn't be running as fast. They should get they tail whooped a couple times. Like that's right to me. Compared to like when I think of like, Lethal Weapon did it too. But I
love Lethal Weapon the way they did it. Number 4 was like my favorite one.
I think they kept going. I think Lethal Weapon didn't stop, so you didn't get as long a lead time. So like dealing with them and watching them. But I mean, there's still some stuff that Mel Gibson did that was like, come on, Mel Gibson, like 75 years old. He jumping over cars still.
But to me,
he's 176 years old.
Yeah.
but number 4 resonated because they played on that. It was like at the end of the day, it's like, look, okay, let's go ask him. Like, you know what I mean? Like it felt like it moved. You know what I mean? And it transitioned. I felt like I was a part of that transition, the way it moved.
Right.
With this one, it was just like, okay, well, this is coming to America too. Wait till you see what happened. And I was like, so
I get it.
You know, I get the whole girl dad thing, and that was nice. I get the whole this is my son, and now I got to do like, oh my god, he's my son.
Right.
That's nice. But everything else was just like, okay, it was to me. I laughed more at Tracy Morgan and Leslie Jones than anybody else, quite frankly.
I got to give a hands out to. I mean, I got to give a hand out to Wesley Snipes, man. He was.
Oh yeah, he did too.
He killed it.
It was like everybody got a chance to see Wesley in another light. You know what I'm saying? So Leslie Jones, she did her thing. Tracy Morgan is, that's a no-brainer with that one because he just brings that New York swang, and it's just like. But
you know what y'all both are speaking to? You're speaking to the characters that weren't there. So right. When you got the other characters, you're comparing them to what they did. Like even with the barbershop scene, had the barbershop scene never happened, had you never seen the first one, this one might have been funny. You feel what I'm saying? But comparing it, it's like, this ain't as funny as the first one. So then it automatically gets to like, it ain't as good. But you take like Wesley's character was new.
Right.
So anything he do is fresh. I'm not comparing him to nothing.
Right.
So you compare him to that being Wesley and being like, Wesley funny as hell in this joke. Like that's dope. Well, but there's nothing else to compare him to. You know what I mean? So
I looked at it from a point of view of as far as acting is concerned.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. The character, but like his acting, because now he's acting in another light. You know what I'm saying? It's like you normally see Passenger 57, type Wesley,
yeah,
investigative. Now he's playing an African commander or whatever you want to call him. Like, so it's now you have the accent, you have the movement, and it's more of a different character. I'm just looking at it from the acting perspective.
I agree. I think he killed it. I mean, he was dope.
I agree.
I think they definitely forced some things. Like the end, they tried to force as many nods to the first one. Like they got Peaches and whatever the girl name is in there, and like sexual chocolate decay. It was just like, okay, y'all go cram everybody in at once. Again, some things could have been done better. I get it.
I will say this. I love the fact that they brought back everybody that they could.
Yeah. Yes.
I would have wanted to know what happened to Lisa and Daryl. I would have wanted to see, did they get it? Did they get married? If they would have just popped up wedding together, or most people was like, "Yo, is he still wearing the Jerry curl?" Like, like different things, like whatever happened. But understand, whatever reason they weren't in the movie. But that's some things that was like people wanted to know. Like, but I will say I like the way they connected the dots from the Dukes, with the grandson in the office, and they made sure that they brought back everything that connected the dots from the first one, with Babar, the elephants, small stuff, but it's stuff that's memorable. Like, that's now Babar is a full-grown elephant, like, but you just look
even
at
even how Wesley came, like the fact that Eddie did leave, like Akeem left that girl hopping on one leg, and never married her. Like the fact that she was still hopping, the fact that the family was mad that he ain't marry her. Like these are real things. Like
Yeah,
I'd be pissed off, man. We were supposed to be royalty. What's going on? Like you
right.
feel what I'm saying?
Now I will say this. I wish that this would have happened when he told Tiana Taylor to wait on the dance floor. I wish she came back like a whole day later and she still in the same spot. Man, hilarious. Like I would like I'm sitting up here like wondering if she's still gonna be standing in the same spot with the same dress.
Right.
Yeah, and to me that was the thing. I feel like it seemed like they kind of ran out of the budget toward the end, so they just forced it to make it work. I do gotta say too though, the Queen, how they had her with like Leslie Jones like said that's my homegirl, and like she got that little drunk moment. It's like you know what I mean? Like now that was again that part I agree with because it's like okay yeah I can see that that makes total sense and it was dope how they did that. You know what I mean? And humanized her and be like, no, I don't care if you the king or not. You get on this damn couch. And it's like, realistically, yeah, I can see that happen. But again, I just think overall, I can't consider it a classic. I can't.
No.
Because it does not move like the first one. The first one was just so much a movie. It was so it wasn't even about production quality or I gotta check these boxes in order for everybody to love it. It just stood.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it.
And I guess that's what it is for me. I didn't expect it to be a classic. It was almost like looking in the window and seeing what happened to the people that are iconic to me and like having a window to say, oh, so that's what happened to them. Cool. You know what I mean? It's like catching up with somebody almost like, oh man, we ain't talked in a while. And then you get on a Zoom call and be like, oh, cool. But your relationship might not go back to being what it like as tight as y'all were. But it's still good to see him and be like, oh man, that's what's up. Yeah. Good. Glad I got that kind of catch up. That's what I always felt like. It wasn't going to be like, oh, they made another iconic movie. Like it's too long. Like just to be honest,
it was
it's just too long. So I didn't think that, but I definitely think in that like, here's what happened. Cool. I liked it for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And to add just one more thing before we get off that subject is that I feel like that they gave their jewels and gems to everybody and showed their love to all of those that were, older in the set. They gave them their jewels while they're alive. Because I mean, you look at James Earl Jones, man, he's still hanging in there and his old, and he's not really even doing any other movies right now. He's probably doing voiceovers and stuff like that, but giving him his jewels, man, while he's still alive, man, and that's great that they're doing. They're paying
totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. And I mean, I will say this, like, too, I'm glad, like, Eddie talked about, or there was that story that came out that Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler wanted to do Coming to America too. They had a version. I'm also glad that didn't happen because I feel like that would have been like too much. They would have made it like serious and it would have been some old. It wouldn't have been no. It would have been. It wouldn't have, Michael B. Jordan is not funny.
It would have been.
I mean,
we can't have it.
He's not funny. Like he's a good actor. I respect what he's doing, but he's not funny. That's not his lane. So to see him try to do that, and like they were really going to concentrate more on the son. That I would have been mad at that more than this, because this was like just paying homage to, like you said, the people who were in it. Hey, we made a classic. Let's come back together and almost have like a party for it. Like that's what I felt it was. So cool, man. Cool. Good talk on Coming to America. If you haven't seen it, make sure y'all go see it. Check it out. Voice your own opinion. Let us know what you think when you check out the replay on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Make sure you check us out. Subscribe. Had to throw that in there. Cool. Hey, all right. What's next for you, man? What's coming up next for Art? What are you working on? What's next?
Man, I'm writing a book, man.
All right.
Writing a book. I'm kind of venturing out and writing a book. Hopefully, once the editing process and everything is completed and we get everything finalized, then I'll be able to elaborate more on it. But that's one of the things that I'm working on. Another thing is I'm looking to get into pitching some show ideas, to the powers that be, hopefully they'll accept those, and maybe I can end up on Hulu, somewhere like Netflix or something like that, get a deal, to kick it off and keep it going. So it would definitely be good. It would be good to be able to get to that point. So I'm just waiting. I'm excited and ready for it.
I gotta connect y'all.
I gotta say, Stage 32, brother. If are you hit with Stage 32?
No.
Stage32.com, man. Check them out.
Really? Okay.
I'm in the process of pitching myself, and I'm navigating that lane. But it's good at least to push you in front of people. You know what I mean?
I started text thread with all of us on it, so y'all can connect for sure.
Let's make it work.
Definitely need to connect.
Might even get together on this. You never know.
Hey man, I'd love to, and I'd love to bring in what we do. We got something 58 concepts right now that we working on right now.
Oh, that's amazing. One thing you hit it right on the head. I was talking to Guy Torrey, and I was talking to him about pitching shows and stuff, and he said something that was very profound, and you just made it full circle with what you just said. I was like, asking about pitching shows, and how do I get into it, and who I need to talk to, and about making it work, and what I need to do when I get in the room. He said, look, I'm gonna tell you something. When you get in that room, he said to make sure that you have numerous products ready, because that one that you love that might be your baby might not be the one that they want. So they might sit in there and be like, okay, next, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? And it's like you have to take those things and make sure that you have yourself lined up and ready, because what you love, you might have to shelf it for the moment and then come back to it once you get your foot in the door. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You got to be ready.
And he's 1,000% right. I mean, and this is even, like I said, again, Stage 32. Look into it. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that we took away from our meetings with them at Stage 32. It's just like, bro, like at the end of the day, you got to kind of know what people want, but they will ask you, they'll shoot that one down. What else you got? And then, you know what I'm saying? And if you got something else, okay, that, like you said, be ready, and having something to go in the chambers. Yeah, it's paramount. That's exactly the position that you're talking about. So yeah, Kendra Kuhn said, "What up, Art?"
That's homegirl right there. Yo, hey. What up, yo? What's going on?
No.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Like, again, Baker set that up, man.
I set up the text thread once we get off of here.
Yeah, on my phone.
Huh?
I said I got messages coming through my DMs like, "Yo, I'm watching." Like,
no. So where can people connect with you if they want to kind of link with you, ask you questions, like follow whatever? Where can they connect with you?
They can actually go to my Instagram. You can go to my Instagram at work_of_art_3.
Make sure you get all them underscores.
Yeah, a lot of underscores is everybody. All good.
Hey man, look, when you go in there, you're gonna see Art be in that gym too, man.
Man,
in that gym.
I gotta do it. One thing I gotta do is I gotta stay healthy, so I can make sure that I can live to be able to complete these projects.
I know that's right. I know that is right. Dope. Well, listen, man, it's been a pleasure as always to kind of chop it up with you. We appreciate you just taking the time, like I said, backstage working, but taking the time to talk to us here at 2 Flu West. Definitely appreciate it. Great interview, great talk. Donnie, what you got?
Nothing. I echo everything that Baker said, man. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. I mean, if you are in LA, bro, I'm in LA too, man. We need to just link up and just lay that out considerably. You know what I mean? That is what that is. You this is my brother here, man. So if he know you and he stamp you, I'm like, bro, whatever I can do to help, let me know.
Say no more. We go way back to the YMCA days and
exactly.
You in the Y too?
Yes, I'm telling you, man. Hampton YMCA situation was crazy.
Man,
all kinds of talent that came out of that place. Please believe.
I mean, put him on Instagram and Facebook because I hadn't seen him in years, but
Yep.
connecting on Instagram, and it was like dope to be able to catch up with people that I really hadn't talked to in a long time. So, you know, he followed me, I followed him, and we just like stuff here and there. But it was great to be able to talk to him. It felt like a reunion last night when I talked to him on the phone.
Exactly. Good times, man. Good times. Well, you know, Donnie, another episode wrapped.
Listen,
another show.
I do believe this is the last one for season 2.
Oh,
there it is.
I hope it was a great one because I'm clearly.
That's man, it was awesome.
It's definitely awesome. You're on a lot of nuggets of wisdom that you just put in there, man. And you got to understand, everybody wants to be in the entertainment business, bro. Especially the aspect that you're in. So you know, you know, what better way to book in the end of the season to what everybody wants to know anyway.
Right. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys showing love and being able to have me on the show. I'm definitely gonna tap in and start watching more episodes. You know, I'm a binge watch all your episodes. So if I'm gonna treat it like it's Netflix. I'm going through all of them. So, but I can't wait to be able to see the next season of next year. I don't know when the next season is gonna start, but just keep me posted. I'm definitely gonna tune in, and I'm definitely gonna catch up with you guys in LA and even in the Bay Area, Nick. I see you up there.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that, Art. Definitely, everybody, like you said, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram at 2FluWest on all of those. Check us out, binge watch. Art is binge watching, so make sure you binge watch.
Make sure you binge
left out, and we want to talk about other episodes. I'm telling you, Donnie, I think I want to do some giveaways or something, but people got to be able to answer certain questions from episodes. So that's what's in my mind. I want to do some giveaways.
All right, we're gonna set that up. Season 3, everything's on the table.
Hey.
So we're gonna get that going.
I need to come out there and get me some two gear. I need to get.
Come on with it. That's coming.
Oh, he already got the apparel logo down. So that's
it's
already.
West, it's coming.
2FluWest, yeah. I need a hoodie or something.
Oh, it's coming. Don't you worry.
Don't
you worry.
Yeah. Y'all know.
It's already in the chamber. Believe that.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys, man. Thank you for having me again.
Appreciate you,
man. Appreciate you.
Let the plane fly.
Yeah, indeed. You guys have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. With the next week we have Black Girl Nerd. Next Sunday, Jamie, man. This is gonna be dope because I'm sure we're gonna be talking about mad movies and TV, man. And she has a very dope presence, so stay tuned for that. But again, as Baker said, like, subscribe, and as Art said, binge watch.
Yeah,
that for sure. But nonetheless, Donnie B got the beats. Nicholas Baker, Art, we in the building, and we about to be out the building. We out. Hit the planes. Peace.